Tales of Symphonia Remaster was stuck at 30 FPS and ridiculous wait times. Really? Ugh. Cannot deal with it if it has low wait times. Actually, that's one thing I really want on the new Nintendo console. Is I want it to have a high speed storage in it. All right. I don't mind if it's like. Well, the thing is, this phone right here. People jump and say, "Oh, NVMe. It needs NVMe," but it doesn't need NVMe. It needs whatever the this has in it. Because this phone has 1,500 gigabytes per second storage in it. How? It doesn't have an NVMe SSD in it. It's a small little device. This is way smaller than the Switch, and it's more powerful, and it has a significantly faster SSD in it. I'm pretty sure the SSD in this thing is like what, 30 times faster than the Switch. So if they can put whatever is in this in the Switch, that would be incredible. I would really appreciate that. In fact, even my phone, even my previous phone from a few years ago has 300 megabytes per second storage. So that shouldn't be a problem for Nintendo. Switch 2, 3DS 4. I would really like, in a way, I'm kind of hoping that they will do, this is going to be really controversial, but I kind of want them to go back to having a separate console and a separate handheld, because I really liked that how we had like a little handheld that was, you know, pocket sized. I don't have my 3DS here right now, but like I really liked how small it was, how I could just shove it in my pocket or in my bag and not have to worry about the screen getting smashed, because the Switch with the screen that's always exposed, you have to put it in a case and it's really not portable at all. I want something that is like properly portable and I can take with me. Yeah, I want them to go back to having a separate console and handheld, because that'd be really nice. Is it going to focus on me? I want the return of the DS handheld. Same. You know what? Let me just grab my DSi. Where is it? Where's my DSi? This is actually a better example, in fact. It's not my DSi, but it's my new 3DS. So this is my new 3DS. Let me grab my Switch as well. I've got both of my consoles here. Let's switch to the big camera. So, we've got the new 3DS here. This is pocket size. I can fit this in my pocket. In fact, I'm pretty sure my phone is actually bigger. Yeah, look how much bigger my phone is compared to the 3DS. My phone is actually bigger than the 3DS. So anybody saying that this thing isn't pocket-sized is bullshitting, because this is widely regarded as pocket-sized, even though it does actually stick out of my pocket a lot of the time, to be fair. But look at that. Look how cool that is. It's literally smaller than my phone. I mean, in terms of thickness, it isn't, but that's not really a big problem. But you know, I really like it because, you know, it's this kind of thing. I would happily chuck this on the floor and trust that it would be perfectly working fine, because these triggers on the back, they're indestructible. These are really well put together. But the most important part is the screens inside. The screens in here, they're not going to get damaged, are they, if you drop it? Or if you just chuck it in your bag. They're not going to get damaged. But the Switch, look at this thing. What? I can't put this in my pocket. Look how much bigger than my phone it is. Like, look at that. My phone is way smaller than this Switch, including the Joy-Cons. Look at that. So it's just not an effective handheld. I mean, it's a handheld, but it's not a portable. That's what I'll refer it to. Because this is a portable console. This is a handheld console. That is a TV console. So yeah, there's differences, and I don't think the Switch really is cut out for it. Even the Switch Lite, which is only a tiny little bit smaller than the Switch, is just it's not small enough, and it needs a clamshell. It needs to be flippable, and that also brings me on to another thing. But let me just chuck my Switch back onto its dock. So let's have a look at hold on. I don't want you guys to see my search history again. So, the Galaxy Flip, this is a thing that's becoming cheaper and cheaper as time goes on, is foldable displays. Because it's actually surprisingly easy to manufacture OLED displays that are bendable, apparently. Because even Corsair, if we Google that, Corsair bendable monitor, I saw this and I was like, what in the fuck? I mean, it's really expensive, but if we have a look at this, why is it taking so long? So it's the Xenon Flex, and it's like a monitor, but the screen is actually bendable. Like, it's got a little handle on the side of it, and you can just pull it. You can choose how much you want it to be curved by just grabbing it and bending it. It's so fucking weird. Like, what in the hell? How do they come up with this stuff? Honestly. But no, seriously, this is like, this is just telling me that technology really is coming forward now that we have displays that we can have at our desks and you can just grab them and just bend them. Amazing how much technology has changed. I know, right? It's so cool. Like, I mean, it's not something that I would buy, and it's far from a selling point to me that you can bend your monitor. But still, I just find it so fascinating how they're doing these things now. Because if you'd have asked me 5 years ago, when you think we will have bendable displays, I would have said, I don't know if that's even physically possible. But now, look at this. We actually have bendable displays. And we also have phones, which we have flip phones again, but they're not like a keyboard at the bottom and a display at the top. It's an actual flip phone, but that's a normal smartphone. It's so cool. But yeah, I was thinking that maybe they could do something like this for the Switch. Well, the Switch 2. I don't like calling it the Switch 2 because we don't know if it's a Switch 2. But if they could do something like this for the next Nintendo console, like imagine that a DS. Like if they did if they did it just like the Galaxy Fold, because I did see that Nintendo patent where it has 3 screens on it. If they did it like this, where it's like, you know, it's got the screen on the outside and then you can fold it open and play like that, that would be cool. But I would probably prefer not to have a screen on the outside if possible. And if there is a screen on the outside, I would like it to be just a simple screen with a plastic cover over it, or a glass cover, whatever. Something that isn't going to get scratched and isn't going to bother me if it gets damaged. The important screens need to be enclosed, like this. But yeah, I really want them to do something like that again. I really, really want them to, but the thing is, I just don't know if Nintendo will do it anymore, because it's been so long since they last designed a console. It's been nearly 8 years, and well, it's probably been over 8 years now since they last actually designed a brand new console. Because the Switch was, you know, that was designed way before it was released. I'm pretty sure that the Switch was it was designed while Iwata was still alive, and that's another thing. Like the DS was an Iwata design. I mean, obviously he didn't go and design it himself, but he came up with the ideas, and you know, Mr. Yamauchi, Hiroshi Yamauchi, the previous president of Nintendo before Iwata, he was like, when he was retiring and he gave Iwata the job, he said to Iwata, I want the next console to have 2 screens on it, and then Iwata came up with the DS based on that idea. This is a true story. I've read so much about Nintendo's history that I can tell you these things. I just said history, but whatever. But yeah, he came up with the idea of the DS, and it was such a perfect idea for a portable console that you can take out with you. It was the Japanese businessman console, really, and I love it so much. The DS is just my favorite console of all time. And the 3DS as well. I do like the 3DS, but I always preferred the DSi to the 3DS. Anyways, yeah, we could go on for so long speculating about what the next console could be. And to be honest, we've been doing that for years now, so I don't know. At this point, I really just want to know what we're gonna get, because I'm a little bit anxious, to be honest. Like, I don't want another Switch, but I don't know. I don't know if they'll give us another 3DS. But whatever. Let's switch to the Elgato. Let's get into... Oh, actually, wait, no. We already went on to the Switch, didn't we?